Hi, this is Carole Copeland Thomas, and this is your diversity tip of the day. Remember that there is a road to greater understanding when you are facing unconscious bias. I'll give you two examples and two techniques to remember, and we'll have many more in the days to come. Number one is to remember first and foremost that we are all prejudiced. I've been teaching this for 30 years. I've been in business 30 years, and probably all of those 30, I've been teaching that whole concept is that none of us can escape the human realities of liking people who are like us, wanting to be around our clan, wanting to be around people who are like us, wanting to be comfortable, and having that comfort level to exclude individuals. That is a human tendency. It doesn't have to be the stopping point. It's where we begin our whole journey in unconscious bias. So all of us are prejudiced. All of us have biases. And it's a matter of how can we work in a way where we can minimize the biases, the prejudice factors that work against other people and put us at an unfair advantage and put others at an unfair disadvantage. So in other words, we are all guilty of unconscious bias. That's the first thing where we have to begin our discussion. Just recognizing it. Stop all this stuff about we're colorblind. No one is colorblind. And that's probably going to be another video. But just remember the realities of the fact that our human connection, our humanness cause us to have these feelings, our attitudes, emotional levels toward other people, and certainly about ourselves. And when we start there and realize that we are on the same journey as everybody else in terms of unconscious bias, that's where we can begin this whole road toward greater understanding. And number two is to develop the courage, the fortitude, and the diplomacy of calling people out when you spot it in other people. You know, the snide joke about individuals. Oh, just kidding. And you chuckle and you laugh along with it. Or somebody says something that is just grotesquely bigoted or just unkind to an individual and just downright not right. You have to stand up sometimes, not beat the person over the head, but just in a very succinct and diplomatic way, just say, no, let's step back and let's examine what you just said about XYZ. Do you really think that's a fair comment? Do you really think that is accurate to call that individual or to make that kind of decision based on what your assumptions happen to be? You don't have to be confrontational or argumentative. It's just a matter of, as objectively as possible, calling a person out so that you stop that behavior. Ultimately, that's what you want to do. You want to stop the behavior that leads down the road to unconscious bias. So those are 2 points that we want to start with, 2 skill sets that we want you to learn. Number one, we're all a part of this. All of us suffer from unconscious bias. How can we minimize our own unconscious bias as we build this road to greater understanding? And number 2, developing the skill sets, the calmness, and the confidence to call people out when you spot it in other individuals. We're going to talk more about this in the days ahead. These are really the important points where we start this road to greater understanding, minimizing unconscious bias. Visit my website at carolecopelandthomas.com. That's CAROLE. CopelandThomas.com to learn more about my business products, services, and how we can work together with your organization to minimize unconscious bias. And I thank you so much for watching this video.